is Amy with Floral Moxie. We're going to be building a very simple baby's breath floral crown. And if our videos help you in any way, remember to like or subscribe and visit Floral Moxie to learn more. Okay, so the supplies that you need are, you can use straight floral wire. This is paddle wire. You can get this on our website or online or at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. This is 24 gauge. I have some really thin gold bullion wire, which I absolutely love, and some stem tape and baby's breath. So what I do is I measure my head, and I have a pretty large head, and then I double it, okay? And so at the very end, I create a loop and I wind it all the way down. So I'm basically doubling my wire, and that's to just give extra support. Now, if you don't want to use paddle wire, if you go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, they have that, I think it's like a grapevine wire. It's much thicker and has like a really thick twine over the top. That's not my preference, but it's kind of good to go, and all you would need to have is like some bullion wire, but this is my preference. So I have a loop on one end and a double twisted wire. Now I'm gonna come in with stem tape. So you stretch it so it sticks to itself, and you start at the loop, and we're gonna wind it all the way down the wire. Not only is this, does this make the crown a little bit more comfortable for the person or child wearing it, it also, it makes the flowers adhere better because there's a little bit of grip and stickiness to it. Not so much that it like sticks to your finger, but yeah, there's just a tackiness to it that helps. And we don't have to be precious about it. We're just winding it down. It can be all haphazard. But this is ultimately the foundation. Okay, so I have doubled wire, I have a hoop, and I have stem tape wrapped around it. The reason why I make the hoop is to make it adjustable. And so this is nice if you're making it for a child or for someone who isn't right there for you to measure their head. You know that if you get to the venue and the little girl's head is naturally gonna be much smaller than mine, I can pull this in and make it tighter. Okay. So we've got our foundation, and let's just get our baby's breath. And I love baby's breath or wax flower for little flower girls. I think that's so sweet. We have this gold bullion wire. Now, some florists use stem tape, and I'll show you how they do it. This isn't my preference, but it's not wrong. It's just not the way I prefer to do it. So what you would do is you would take a little piece of baby's breath and lay it down, and you take a little stem tape and tape it to the wire. But to me, that takes longer, and I feel like it's a little bit more gappy. So that's why I love this bullion wire, and it's a really nice fine gold wire, and it's crimped, and it's like mechanics that I don't mind being seen. Because it's gold, it's like you can kind of get away with seeing it. So I wrap it around a few times to get it going. And what I should have done, let me go ahead and do this. It's much easier if you have all your pieces of baby's breath or wax flower pre-cut into just like little clusters. And it doesn't take a lot at all. Like floral crowns in general, it's just little sprigs. And you can make these up to 3 days before, as long as you keep it in a hydration chamber. Baby's breath is really, really hardy. Okay, so I'm gonna pin this in over here so it doesn't get all wound up in my bullion wire. And we're working our way backwards. So we start at the end and we add in this other piece. and we bring this bullion wire around a few times. And that's kind of the nice thing, is that you don't have to wind it heavily. You just give it a couple wraps, and then you move to the next piece. And see how we're just layering this, and how it could be so much more laborious to use stem tape. That's why I love this thin gold wire, is it just makes it really quick for me. And so if you've seen from my other videos, I always repeat myself because I might say it in one video and you don't catch it. But a hydration chamber is essentially Tupperware with a damp paper towel on the bottom. You lay down your boutonniere or your floral crown or your floral comb or corsage, and then you layer a damp paper towel on top of it. So it's not wet, it's just slightly damp, and then you put the seal of the Tupperware, like you put the lid on, seal it, and then pop it in the fridge. And then one little tip is put a Post-it on your door, because it's so easy to drive off and forget your boutonnieres that are in your refrigerator, which I have done many times. So I'm making this kind of compact. I can bring it, like I can thin it out a little bit. So I'm grabbing like 2 little pieces at a time. As long as the stem is included, it will hold up just fine. Okay, so we're getting to the tail end, and we have a really nice full baby's breath crown. And it's mainly just taking it apart. You probably saw a few times I ran out of bullion wire, and so it was really easy just to cut a new piece. I always, you know, wind the first one up quite a few times, and then I just continue going down the length of the wire. So because this is probably for a child, I think this is like a good place to stop. Let's clear this out. And so it comes around and you can easily hook it and adjust as needed. If you want to add like tie a ribbon to each end and have like a pretty ribbon in the back, especially if it's a little girl, I think that's really sweet. And here we go. Gotta put it on. Let's see. Yes. I feel like, what is it? Robin Hood? Yeah, all old school 90s, yes. Yep. Very easy to make. You can definitely make this in advance. Wax flower, status, just small textured items. You can add in little spray roses. Always stick with the minis when it comes to floral crowns. So I would probably refrain from using larger things like garden roses, standard carnations. They're gonna be too big. So these little guys work out really well.